Welcome to the Just Another Moment podcast, and today we have a really awesome guest in Chelsea who has a school community of her own called Portals of Her, and she talks about her past in using substances to deal with her issues and challenges and people pleasing, ultimately putting other people first before herself. She shares a story about when she went to Europe at the age of 20 with her best friend, which was a story about not quite going to plan, but she also talks about what she is trying to build and what she's trying to bring to the world. I hope you enjoy this episode 6 of the Just Another Moment podcast with Chelsea. Hi Chelsea, so good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining today with the Just Another Moment podcast. We have been trying to connect for such a long time, trying to do this podcast or even just have like a video chat, and you obviously being in America 15 hours behind me is very difficult, and it's just blessed that I have a Friday off that we can catch up, have a chat, and have this awesome podcast. So I'm really looking forward to it because we're in a very similar space, building our communities, building business, and going on that journey. And so I guess how are you first of all? And
thank you so much for having me on. Yes, it's definitely been a long time coming. We connected like at least 2 to 3 months ago and kind of been going back and forth and chatting about all the things. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to be here, and thank you for having me on. I'm doing good. Just another typical day in Cali. The weather's not the best today though. It's a little bit overcast, foggy, and I feel like just kind of cold. I wish it was just like, when it's like this, I just wish it was raining. It's like, just be sunny or just rainy, like choose one. I mean, your background is very nice, but how is it really where you are?
Well, as you know, we designed this awesome background before we started hit record. We are in, for those listening, the background is I am in a cabin in Aspen in the winter with a nice sunset. So it's nice and cozy in here. I've got my hoodie on, everything's good. And but where it is, where I actually am, it's been so rainy, actually, like rainier than I've seen it in Australia on the Sunshine Coast for a long time. But yesterday and like over this weekend, it's going to be like really nice and sunny. I think it was about 26, 27 degrees. I don't know how to translate that into Fahrenheit. Probably 80 degrees or something. It's quite nice and warm. It's been a nice day yesterday, and today's going to shape out to be quite nice as well. So it's still quite early for me though. So yeah.
8 a.m. for you, 3 p.m. for me. It's like next day. It's so funny. Yeah, that is super funny.
In real time.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Awesome. We'll get into it. And there's a cool story I want to like learn a little bit more about from you, which goes to like what Just Another Moment stands for around adventure community education. The first one being adventure, because for me, what I think is really important in life is that we do go out, we have these experiences, new cultural experiences, adventures, and these are things that can connect us with ourselves, with our friends, and even with other cultures and other people, and nature, most importantly. So you said to me that you went on a little Europe trip with your best friend in your 20s, and then her boyfriend joined for that as well. So you kind of was like third wheeling. But how was that experience for you?
Yeah. So that was really awesome. We both grew up around this area in California, and we were sharing a room. We moved out like early, whatever you want to call it, just went to college over here. And then she ended up going to Humboldt University. I don't know if you probably don't know where that is, obviously, but it's just more like up north, like forest vibes. And she was doing a semester abroad in Spain, and her and this dude were like talking long distance, whatever. It was all chill, but we had been like And I was 20 at the time, so I had not ever been to Europe, but Europe has always been on my heart. Like, I'm definitely meant to live there at some point. Yeah. And so she's like, come out, like, I'm already abroad, like, let's do like a bestie trip, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm in. Since you're already out there, like, what places were you thinking? And I kind of just like let her take the ropes because she was out there, you know what I mean? I was like, I just want to be out there. Like, I want to at least, you know, hit up, let's, you know, decide on like Germany, or like we had to like come together and choose a couple together, you know? And I was like, I'm just happy to be out there. Just tell me when and let's go. And at the time I was super excited because you can drink before, like, I wasn't 21 yet. So I was like, okay, let's go. And yeah, so literally, like, I think it was like a month before or something. And she was like, yeah, like, do you mind if, you know, my boyfriend like comes? And I was like, well, yeah, I kind of mind, dude. Like, yeah, like, it's supposed to be like a bestie girl trip. Like, having your boyfriend come is a completely different vibe. And she's like, oh, okay, well, he'll just come before. And I was like, okay. And I was just like, all right, like, trusted her on it. But I was like, this is not feeling like it's gonna turn out the way I thought, which it didn't. Like, he ended up staying the whole freaking trip, and we ended up like, I like broke off from them because there was just a point where I was like, okay, first of all, she chose the cheapest hostels ever. Like, I don't know, you could say I've always been a little bougie, whatever, but like, she was choosing hostels at like €8, and I'm like, I got bed bugs, like, literally. Just she couldn't have made it more. Like, they would go on, we were like in Italy, and like they would go on runs in the, she was like trying to live like this like 30-year-old put together. She's like, well, me and Aiden, whatever, I'm like, okay, she's never gonna see this, but we're gonna go like to this jazz thing tonight. I'm like, we're 20, do you want to just like go out and like hang out, or do you have to like go on your run, leave me at the hostel? Like, it was just very not the vibes. And so I ended up like hanging out with people at the hostel that we met, and like just cool European people that were like traveling and visiting. Like, that was such a cool experience. But yeah, unfortunately I was like, all right, I'm out, girl, like, you guys do your little trip then. And we literally haven't talked since.
Oh,
like,
really?
we literally have not talked since. Like, we are not besties at all. Like, I don't know. And she also, I was like, wait, you're actually really weird. Like, you didn't give a fuck about your best friend being separate. Like, you had a guy with you, but you let me be separate in Europe like the whole time. Like, the only thing she texted was like, oh, did you get back to the States okay? And I'm like, girl, like, and like, without her, because I didn't speak any of the languages, I was in like Prague, like, the money was different every second. Like, there was a specific story where I missed like a train and was it in Prague? No, I was like crying, bawling my eyes out. Okay, missed the last train to any civilization, bawling my eyes out. No Wi-Fi to go back home, no money to get a flight back home. Literally a random Polish. Oh yeah, it was like, I had to get a random like fat Polish dude and like his girlfriend were like, "Are you good?" And I was like, "No, I'm not good." They drove me to Poland. I didn't even care. I was like, "Sure, I don't have anywhere to go. You can." I went in their car, dude. Like, they could have been rapists. They could have done anything they wanted. I was like, I don't even know. Like, they gave me a little bit of money to go to like Poland. And it was just one thing after the next, but like, very, very interesting. And definitely, like, the world is not that safe now. So yeah. I would not do that now as a woman. Like, this was like good 10 years ago. So yeah, no, it was really cool though. Like, the traveling, like, getting to see so many different cultures and so many people, like, to bring it out of a negative space. Like, I mean, obviously, you know, the friendship was not strong enough or whatever you want to call it, but the traveling experience was really just cool, because when you're from America, especially California, like, you just live such a typical like Cali life. Like, there's not culture, there's not Europeans here, there's like very new vibes, you know. So actually getting to go to Europe was really cool because I felt very connected to like history. Like, I'm Italian, and like going to Italy and like just all these places, like, you know, it was like, oh my gosh, there's a whole new world. Like, everyone's so much more chill and like having fun. Like, it's not all about work and like grind. It's just such a different mentality. And sometimes even when I'm being like so stressed and hard on myself, I'm like, if I was in Italy, I'd be like having a coffee laughing with like a stranger and have like a great time. So I need to just like chill out. Unfortunately, like, you know, I am here in America, so it's like it's hard to I just wish I could get in that mindset more often without, I guess, having to go there. But it was a great experience, and I've been back since, but it was very much like a solo adventure for most of the trip. I mean, it felt solo from day one because she, like, for whatever reason, kept choosing to hang out with him. And I'm like, why'd you even, what is this trip then? You know what I mean? So it was very much like a solo and I had a huge backpack. Like, it was crazy. But it was
we made that mistake with the backpack.
yeah, it was like above my head. It was huge.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Friends now is like the little 60-liter ones, which like teeny tiny, and you take like 4 things. I don't know how people do it, but yeah, it's no, that's actually like really interesting, because it is like that's a really good sort of thing to highlight with travel, is nothing goes the way you thought it would. Right? And you have to be adaptable, and you have to pivot, and you know, and having that experience as a solo, like, you know, going with a friend but then ending up actually as a solo traveler, having all of these like crazy experiences, like, definitely would have shaped some level of resilience or strength within you that you probably didn't realize you had until you had that experience.
Absolutely. You know? I would say so. Yeah. I think it also just clarified, like, just that I can get through hard things, and that even though I was like crying and so like more tired than I've ever been in my life, like more confused than I've ever been, more scared, I am still standing today somehow. But also just that, like, there's so much more out there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when people who haven't even left America, like even my own parents they haven't even been to Italy. And it's like, I'm Italian. Like, my dad's like full Italian. I'm like, I think he has been, but like, it's like, I feel very connected to going to Europe and like exploring, and I have an English side, and like, I'm like, I love the culture. I love the history there. Like, there's so much more than in America. Like, America's great for certain things, of course, but like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know, maybe just connected because my ancestors or whatever, but there's just so many different types of people with so many different mentalities, different languages. Like, Americans are like so far behind in the sense of like, you probably know 3 languages, like, or something. I don't know, maybe you don't, but like, like a lot of Europeans do. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of Europeans do, because there's so many countries right there. Like, you just get to experience a lot of different little worlds, and I think that that's really important, and I think it makes you a more well-rounded human. Whereas there's a reason American culture is American culture, because it's like all kind of hive mind, like let's work, like, whoa, you know. And it's like there's a time and place, and I get like the economy's better here for that mentality. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just more like, let me live my soft girl life. But like, be a business owner, but like, that's like why we're building our business too, where it's like, we can be remote. I want to be able to be in America and have a base, but also be in Europe and be like fluid, figure it out, you know? Enjoy both.
Yeah, no, I definitely connect with like what you're saying, particularly like with the languages thing, because, you know, America is so isolated in the sense, right, that it's, you know, pretty much like North America is just America, then you got Canada and stuff, but you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But with America, it's like such a big country. It's exactly the same as Australia. The only difference really between America and Australia is like obviously the distance between, but Australia is just, it's the whole continent is Australia, and it's the country. And have that separation of like areas for different languages or different cultures. And because we were like colonized like America was, like the culture that we have is just that, like, I don't even know, it's like that white culture, right? And so to have those experiences, and I actually think like the US, I've never been, but would have more cultural variance, just because of obviously like you got Latin America and stuff like that, and that like flows into like the southern states of the US and so on. Like in Australia we don't really have that. Like, we've got our indigenous culture, which is something that like Australians protect quite a lot. But so yeah, fascinating. And Europe, I love. Like, I only speak English because I was born in England, and the convenience of being born with the most dominant language in the world is, you know, there's no incentive really to learn. But it's such a cool thing to go to a different country and like
see the other, like see how the other people like, or how other cultures and people live.
Yeah.
You know, like in it, like you're saying in Italy, like they do have that like 3 o'clock, it gets a little bit sleepy and they just like sort of like chill out for a little bit, and it's sort of like very relaxed, you know. And obviously there's the business hubs and centers, which is always go, 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 but there's more balance to it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think there's more charm. Like I've been wanting to, like I would love to live in London. I'm like, or just like the UK. Like I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I already speak English. It's super cute and bougie, but then there's like the countryside, but it's still like giving America where there's like the businessy energy. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that's where I need to go. But it's like the visa and all that is kind of a
is it? Yeah, I don't know if it's like difficult for like Americans to go over. It's like, I know it's hard for like me to go to America visa wise. Like I can go for like a 3-month holiday or something, but
I think it's quite similar in a way. Like unless I had a lot of money to be like, I'm starting a business or I'm like working for a UK company, like I don't know. What was I gonna say? You can get like an extended travel visa, but I don't even know. I feel like London is, or like the UK is actually more strict than like other spots. Like maybe in Paris or something, it would be easier. Like I need to look more into it. I was gonna try to get my citizenship through like my Italian ancestry, but it's just like, it's a whole headache. Like it has to be like specifically when my grandma got on the boat, did she get neutralized in America? Because then it cuts off the Italian bloodline for all of us. And it's like, just have to spend money and time to do it, which I should, because I really want to like be out there. And that would be amazing to be like, yeah, I'm a citizen. I can just like pop around, but
yeah,
we'll see.
I'm the same. Like my family's like got French heritage, and I was like, it'd be sick to be a French citizen. Like then you've got like European passport kind of thing. But yeah, I just traveling for me is just such a really like, it's a cool way that you can find, you know, how like people say, oh, I need to go find myself and stuff like that, and like I wasn't going anywhere to find myself. I was running away from all of my problems, and it just so happened by doing that I was able to just sit in silence and sit in peace without distraction, and like sort of discover what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be in life. And like that's the power of travel. And then like with travel as well, you're meeting people, like you said, you know, when you were in the hostels, like on your own, you ended up hanging out with other people. Like, you know, so in a way, solo travel is more social than it is if you were to go with a friend. Because if you're with a friend, you literally just spend that whole time with them. You might meet a couple of people, but you're very like in that container. But if you're on your own and you're like, okay, I need some social interaction, yeah, you can walk into a bar or into a hostel and you can literally just like meet people, play a game of pool, play darts, whatever, go on
you can just flow. Whereas if you're with friends, it's like, oh, well, do you want to do that? No. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it does more like complicated like that.
But yeah. So since Europe, what has like you said you've been back, have you been anywhere else? Like what's your like sort of favorite like travel destination that you've been to since? And this could be in America as well, because I know America is like an absolutely beautiful country.
Yeah. I drove all the way, well, technically all the way here to New York. So I went through a lot of different states. Montana was so pretty. I wish I spent more time there, but it's like the nature, like it's giving this kind of aesthetic, the little Aspen house vibe. It's like so down to have like some retired vibe in Montana or something. Like it's just so pretty. Like I do love nature. Like I will say from California, like I live in a very like near the ocean, but we have the mountains. Like we're very spoiled in California. So I liked Montana. South Carolina was really pretty, like Charleston, like again, the history, like cobblestone streets, like basically all these like picturesque romantic vibes. That's kind of my shit. Yeah. So also, I mean, I lived in New York, so I love New York because it's like a classic big city. It's very much like the oldest place in America, and I always had a goal to live there in my 20s and did get offered a job at its point to move there, and I was there not that long ago, living there a couple years ago now. But I have been to Paris, and it was just like shockingly like the romantic, like the I've never seen architecture like that. It was just like, oh my God, like it was just so fucking cute. So I did love that place. I really did like London. I wish I kind of did see more of like the countryside vibes. I did not really get to, you know, see that. Even London, I didn't get to see that much, but like I just felt like comfortable there right away. Like I think it wasn't, you know, with all the other countries, you kind of, you know, the money is all like more complicated and the languages, and I don't like being all stressed out. Like when I was with my ex at that point, I was like, can you figure out the trains? Like I don't like all that. So
Yeah.
I think that's why I liked London too. And it's like there's still good food, but there's like, I don't know, like the older people were so nice and like fit. Like it just was so different than America. Like I saw the change of the guards, and I was like, oh my God, they have like a king and stuff. It's so weird. Like I was just like, I feel like I'm stepping in history. This is so weird. Like America's not like that. It's just like president that you never see in real, like you never see anything like a real, like just driving, like, or not driving, but like riding a bike past the whatever castle or not castle, like where they live and stuff. And just the park where they live. And I was like, oh my gosh, their like little mansion is right there. Like seeing the roads that like the most we live in. I was just like, this is so cute. Like everything's so like stacked up and like, I don't know. I just love the charm about it, you know? So, and then Amsterdam, I mean, it's really, really hard to pick one. I'm going on the whole rant about it. So.
Yeah. No, oh man, I lived in Amsterdam for a month last year, and it was
cool.
so. It's such a good place, and like so many nice people as well. Like everyone's so friendly and like healthy living, because you either walking everywhere or riding bikes everywhere.
Yeah,
I got lost. I was like trying to get my way back to like where I was staying, and I was riding my bike and I ended up going the wrong way, and I was like wrong way like 10 kilometers, and I was like, oh my word. So I like looked on the maps and it took me an hour to get back. It was meant to be like a 10-minute bike ride, and I was
gosh, I do think it's easy to get turned around there for whatever reason, even though it's quite small. It's like very like a circle kind of vibe, but it was so clean and charming. And yeah, I mean, I really can't pick one. I can't even pick one. Like it's hard to say, because even when I have been to Japan, that was the cleanest place I've ever been in my life. I was like, holy crap, this is crazy. That's genuinely, everyone's nice. Like. No one, there's no crime there. Like it doesn't feel like the world. So hard to say just one, but there's 10 for you.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. No, it's like travel, like I said, is such a beautiful thing. And you know, you mentioned cities to countryside to architecture to people, and that's what it's, you know, and you really like it is a world education. It's like such a good education almost, you know. I would almost be like, when I have kids, I'd like skip the first couple of years homeschool and just travel around the world and go to like places. Like that would be amazing.
Yeah, you always hear people say like, oh well, I need to get the travel done before the kids. I literally always stop people when they say, I'm like, why can't you just bring them? Just bring them. Like as if the baby, like he just wants to be strapped in, just go on the trip. I mean, do your solo travel. Obviously it is different with a kid, but like people make it so much harder. It's like the kid is going to learn just by seeing how resilient you are with your partner, and just like enjoying, like it's just part of life. Like make travel part of life versus like this whole separate, like, you know, again, like America compartmentalizing, like, oh, on my time off, it's like, I don't know, like just make it part of your life. Like that's again kind of like why I feel like we want to do like remote communities and vibes, because it's like, how cool would it be, we build up our communities and then it's like, hey, I'm gonna be in Amsterdam, I'm gonna meet my friend Arthur there, like who wants to join? It's like 10-20 people, like we have a meetup, like I don't know, sell a ticket for something or go do an adventure, like bring the baby, I don't know, like bring whoever, like it's just like a vibe. Like I just feel like it's a lifestyle that we're trying to curate versus like most people don't see travel that way. They feel it's very inaccessible. It doesn't have to be like it, you know, I mean, 100%. I understand wanting to stay in nice places and stuff, but like Europe is very cheap coming from America, like in a lot of ways.
Yeah. You know? So. And that's the thing. Well, it's like to fly anywhere, like realistically, it's like $1,000 a one-way ticket. You can get pretty much anywhere in the world, you know.
And then once you're in Europe, you're like the tickets are so much cheaper because it's like the countries are right next to each other. So it's like, to me, I'm like, coming from America, like I don't see any issue with that.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's such a cool thing. So you've talked about a little bit about communities and stuff, and obviously like I've got my community I'm building, and you have yours as well. Do you want to like share a little bit about your community, what your goals are with it, your vision, like who do you want to help, like what's the sort of community basis for you?
Yes. So I would say that my community, I mean, it's very much like always changing and pivoting, I think, because like once you start building something, you're like, wait, actually it's more this, actually it's more that. But I think my vision has not really ever changed of like, in general, I want to help people learn digital skills to become like mentally, financially, spiritually free. That's something I've always wanted since going to Europe. Like a lot of people who are 20 don't care about going to Europe, or like they just are, in that college, like high school, college pipeline. I'm going to get a good job, blah, blah, blah. Like I've never wanted that. I've never felt like that would be free enough for me. I've always just felt like there was something more, and that I really don't like being told what to do, like for work, for anything. And I think there's so many women who just like don't have, well, my community is called portals of her. So primarily like I want to help women because I am a woman. So, but I love working with guys too. But I will say that as a woman, I struggled a lot with knowing, just being okay with who I really am versus what society puts on women, how we're supposed to act, or falling into the crowd of just like drinking, sleeping around, like being the cool girl, like whatever you want to call it, or just like none of that made me happy, And I think it's because there's not a lot of healthy role models in the world anymore, and people who really understand the work that it takes, but like how good the destination will be when you can be a woman. Like think of all the women in like every any woman, like their ancestors have been whatever suppressed, or like had to choose marriage to a man they didn't like. Not always, but I'm just saying like we are getting the opportunity as women right now, like to be the option to be financially, spiritually, mentally free and work together. And I think the community aspect for women, for people in general, but specifically for women too, has been so cut off. Like, everyone says it takes a village to raise a kid, yet there's not a village. Like, so it's like, let's just bring the village back. Let's like start. And then that's how it grows into like in-person retreats, like building little like communities in real life. You know what I mean? Like, so, but firstly, I think for women is first to get out of the rat race of like some type of either 9 to 5, or like maybe they're creative, but they are kind of in that starving artist vibe. Whatever their situation, I feel like whatever it is, they're not identifying with like that dream version of them, but it's kind of for the girls who are already like more entrepreneurial spirits, creative, or just people who want a little more than, and there's nothing wrong with like a 9 to 5. If you are happy in that and genuinely sounds good, but like as a human, like a multidimensional human, which we all are, I just don't really believe that there's probably a very small percentage of people that are genuinely 100% happy in those type of jobs and type of structures. Like that's just not how humans were built. That's not how we're made, is to like be in fluorescent lighting under someone's command, clock in, clock out. Like to me, that literally like it just gives like why am I here? I like might as well just go die then. Like not to be gross and like go there, but it's just like I felt so suppressed, you know what I mean? And so I just firstly want to help women like get out of that, really, I call it like the matrix mindset. It's kind of like the hive mindset, and then eventually be able to like really self-express, like create content that attracts people that like is their true tribe, like people that are going to be their community. And just you meet the right people, like how we connected, it was online, like, and like I literally feel like I'm a closer friend with you than people I've known from high school or something. Like it doesn't, or like just from a job that I had. Do you know what I mean? Like you connect with people based on your true values. And so I think women have just been so manipulated or confused, like again, kind of goes back to me just not feeling like I had a lot of guidance growing up. And so I've had to go through a lot of crazy or up and down, dark stuff, whatever you want to call it. So I just feel like I want to be that kind of leader for them, or guide, or just, I don't know. I just want to like open up this space and be like, I can hold space for you guys. Like I've been there, like, here's what I've learned, or, here's the skills you should learn to like start making money online. Like, I see it obviously as a much deeper like path than just let's make money online. That's just the first step. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's a long answer, but
I love it. We can totally unpack that as well. Like,
yeah.
there's so much you said there. Like, mentally, financially, and spiritually free is like so key. And you again, you said bring the village back. I love when you said that, because it's like what I like, from what I got from like what you were saying is, it's like women have been suppressed for like so long, right? And it has like there's been the role for women, and that role has like shifted, where now there's more choice, now there's more power, but obviously like through societal expectations and the way society puts us in boxes, and the way even we're brought up, like when we're educated to basically be that, you know, factory worker, do the 9 to 5, go home, cook dinner, you know, clean the house, go to bed, wake up, 9 to 5, cook dinner, go to bed, you know. And it's like, and it's so much of that like routine process. Now routine is really important for humans,
For sure.
if you're stuck in something like long term where you go, I don't see a way out, like exactly the same, it's like, well, what is the point in me being here if I'm like not bringing more value than the $20 an hour that I get paid, right? Like, what is the point? And so I ask that question so much, just of myself. And so it's going from like a place of, do we want to just exist in life, or do we want to start living life? And it goes back to like our conversation around travel, where, you know, yeah, traveling is accessible. We can do it. We can make it part of our lifestyle. And by traveling is going to give us that we're living our life. We're not just existing in life. And the same with these communities that we're building as well. And I love the fact that you said like you wanted to step up into that leadership role for other women, inspire other women in that space. It's like the people that want more for themselves, because sure, there's always going to be people which are perfectly happy. You know, like I often look at people and go, you know, like cleaners, for example, like I saw an Airbnb cleaner the other day, and I was like, I wonder if like they're happy doing their job. If this was like their life for the next 30 years, does this bring them fulfillment? Does it bring them joy? Now, for some people, yes, it would. For other people, it's just a means to an end. It's literally you're trading that time so you can buy food and you can have a place to stay. You know, like how you transform that into something else. And yeah, absolutely, like the societal pressure of what it is to be a woman, what it is to be a man, like all of that is shifting real time. And like the last 5 years, it's been super confusing for men, I feel, but also equally as confusing but empowering for women. And so how can we leverage that to like help out the masses? So I wanted to just ask, what was your shift? You know, like you've obviously mentioned that you've gone through like feeling suppressed and feeling a bit trapped and had a couple of horrible experiences, and now you're on the other side of that, where you want to use your experience and your knowledge to empower other people, and women in particular. You want to empower women to, you know, start making that change for themselves so they can live happier, and also have that community where they feel like they belong. Because Western for us, and I feel this is a Western cultural issue, it is just, we finish school, then we're just left to us to look after us. We don't have anyone else to look after, really. So yeah, what was the shift for you?
Sorry, what for me? What was like the shift?
The shift, yeah.
I mean, that's like hard to answer, just because I feel like there's been so many, well, not so many, but there's clearly, I feel like in people's lives, like there's certain, you know, rock bottom type of moments where it's just like, this is really not it. You know what I mean? Like there was a time when I got offered a job in fashion in New York, and I already knew I didn't want to like really work in fashion, but I always wanted to live in New York. But I had to get like literally 2 other jobs. And I remember going from Little Italy to Alphabet City, walking, like I was working during the day as like a host. And then I would be a bar girl, door girl at night, and then have to take the train to Brooklyn. And I'm just like, what? Like, there was just moments in that where I was like, this is super not safe. Like there was definitely times where there's just like, I'm just like, doing all this for what? Like, I'm exhausted to get like the $20. Like, this is insane. What the fuck is this? So there was just like moments like that where I was like, this is so not for me. Like, I don't know who this is for. I don't know any woman who's going to be in their feminine, which is why we have a lot of like polarity issues with dating right now, because all the women are fucking in their masculine now. And it's like, nobody, like, but then they're gonna sit there and complain about men. It's like, but you're, you know, and but like, that's also like, I will say, like, to be clear, I don't really fuck with like the feminist, like, no, I'm more like the feminine person. Like, I don't, like, all the feminists are like, you know, equal pay. It's like, there's no equal with men and women. We're different. It's different. I don't think we should have equal pay. Like, men literally are built different. They should get, like, why is there a girl, like, there's no girls who are like working at PG&E going up the polls, and it's like, we are not built to deal with that. Our emotions, like, things literally go wrong when we try to do man jobs, and when men are doing women jobs, like, I don't see why we're doing it like that. Like, I believe in gender roles. I'm here for it. Like, but I'm also here for, like, you know, women having a choice. But like, I also think we're so backwards, and it's like giving everyone the wrong polarity. And I'm like, let me at least be a guide to be like, hey, it's okay if you know, are tired and you're on your period and you don't want to go to your 9 to 5. I don't feel like you should have to. And I'm like, you know what, you can release that thinking and start working online if you want. You come over here, baby. let's relax. Let's talk about it. Let's like have a little fucking, you know, meditation and breath work. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's way more where I want women to go versus like, you know what, let me like just teach you skills to like be a girl boss. Like, yeah, okay, I have a girl boss side, but I also am like gonna nurture my feminine side. Whereas like, this world is not trying to really nurture that. Like, they don't give a shit. Like, if you look back in history, like, women didn't used to get taxed. So this whole girl boss thing has actually been a lot of brainwashing, because now they can tax 2 people. And then they also broke apart the family unit. Like, since the woman's at work, man's at work, they're not having sex, they're fighting, the kid's pissed. Like, it's just all bad. Like, if you actually look back through things, it's like, you know, people are like, yeah, you know, we fighted for so many rights and they're taking it away. And it's like, okay, obviously I'm not saying like, yeah, sit and fucking sweep and vacuum while your husband's at work. Like, but like, at this point, like, there's people like who, you know, women who have to work 9 to 5s or whatever at this point. And sorry, let me X out of that. And like, they only have a couple weeks to leave and be pregnant, and then they have to go back. So their kid is at daycare. So I'm like, wait, so now your work is more important than your own child. Your child's not even being raised by you. Make it make sense. Like, see, I get like super angry about this because I'm just like, this is like how women have they had no leadership. I mean, my mom was even at home, like, you know, but like, the relationship was whatever, a mess or whatever with my dad, whatever you want to call it, their own shit. But like, still, like, I can't imagine if my mom was never home. Like, what? Like, that's like, I'm at daycare. I already felt like abandoned in certain ways. So it's like, I just want women, the next generation of women, to like be raised in a healthy way. Like, women supporting women, not women like fighting over positions of power. Like, of course we're gonna need like women in certain industries and all that. I'm not saying let's just like totally like go back or something, but I do feel that we are not nurturing our feminine at the end of the day. Like, we need to have balance. And then the men, like, we are the ones who set the standards. And then the men will be feeling good if we're still not coming after their jobs and trying to be like, you know what, he tried to rape me at work. And it just causes so much, like, I don't know. That's a whole fucking can of worms. But I just feel like at the end of the day, like, I'm trying to be like, let's just put this into balance, because I've worked in a lot of jobs where I was in my masculine and I was fucking miserable. I was seriously miserable. You don't know how long it took me to even get even in a state to be able to receive, like, you know, it just goes so deep. Like, I feel like women don't even know how blocked up they are. Do you know what I mean? So
absolutely.
So
it is one of those, like, really, it's such a challenging thing, because obviously the media manipulates so much of what of what we're shown, and it's done in a way that, like, is to make us think that we're having our own thoughts, but we're really not. Like,
subliminal messaging for sure.
100%. So there's like a process behind it, and I think on one side where like, you know, women are struggling more than ever with like finding their feminine, men are just struggling in general, but because it's like, what is it now to be a man? You know, like what is what does being a man mean now? Like, are we allowed to open the door to a woman? Are we allowed to pay a bill without
women in the world are going to be mad if you do?
Yeah. So you're going to be like, okay, some are mad, others aren't, and you know, how does that work? Like, how does that work? Like, if you're going on a date, and
you're probably so confused. I like feel bad. Like, I can't imagine on a date. You're just like, okay, like, can I open the door? Are you gonna be like, or if you're explaining something, is she gonna be like, are you mansplaining me again? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a term for everything now, and it's like, come on, guys, let's just let them live. Like,
and I definitely agree. Like, you know, the balancing is something that we need. You know, and for me, you know, as much as I felt like I missed out on having like a father figure and dad, like, you know, he's always been home and he's always been there, but he's also like, when I was growing up, he was working all of the time and I hardly really got to see him. And when he was there, I was playing sport, so he was there to support me playing sport, which is great. But like to have that like nurturing sort of like father son moments and stuff like that was difficult, and I feel really blessed that I was able to have a lot of time with mum. Like, mum was always there, you know, and I couldn't imagine, and she worked, but she was also like, she worked when I was at school, you know, and then like she was a teacher, so she was able to come back and like be there. And I couldn't imagine having a life where I was just at daycare and, you know, I didn't see my parents, and then I'd go home and I'd be tucked in bed and stuff like that. Like, for some people, like what you were saying is like, okay, now there's two parents and the kid's in daycare. Something like, I know someone that was putting their kid in daycare and their job literally paid just enough to cover the daycare costs. So then it's
saying, like, that's crazy at this point. Like, just live below your means or something, because the child, your own child, it's causing so much bad stuff. Like, you're so disconnected from your child. Your child is growing up to become narcissistic, selfish, confused, like all these things we've had to unlearn, you know what I mean? Because of the treatment or non-treatment, neglect. Like, you're just causing so much. Like, just be there as a parent. Like, if you're gonna have a child, like, that's a real big thing. Like, you know, so
and that was like one,
you know, I feel bad. Half these people don't even realize or something. They're like, well, I have to do it this way. You don't. That's why we are existing, to be like, look, you know, join his community, join my community. Like, this is why, like, so we can be more free, so we can find different solutions, because clearly we've grown up with some that were okay, they were fine, but it's like, I mean, our parents didn't know better. Obviously, if they could do better and they knew better, I'm sure they would have. They were trying their best. They didn't have the tools that we have now. They didn't have AI. They didn't have social media. Like, they couldn't just talk to a camera and make money. Like, it was all brick and mortar. Like, so that's why I'm like, I'm going to stop listening to the negative voices in my head and start just fucking doing it, because they didn't get the chance to. Like, you know what I mean? They didn't have the opportunity. So it's almost our responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta fix this mess.
Yeah, 100%. Like, honestly, one of my biggest drivers, if you ask me why am I starting this community? Yeah, of course, it's to help people like struggling with mental health, and it's to help people start living, not existing, and help people be like the best versions of themselves. But when you go all the way back to like the real why, it's like, so when I have kids, I can stay home with my kids and I can spend as much time as possible with them whilst making money online, and I can travel the world with my kids and my family whilst being able to help as many people as possible. And like,
exactly,
like if it was up to me, I'd be a stay-at-home dad, hands down. I'd love
right? No, who wants to work in general? Like, you have a purpose, sure. Like, go do yard work, go build a house, go build a guest house for the family. Like, let's, you know what I mean? But then it's like everyone gets all up in arms, like, oh, you want us to be like Little House on the Prairie? We were suppressed then. It's like, actually, things were kind of chill. It seems like the dad was out hunting, having his guy moment. The girls were chilling inside. Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't sound too bad. Now we're out here at fucking 9 to 5s in a freaking fluorescent room. Like, you know what I mean? It just got all discombobulated. So it's like, there's got to be a middle ground somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Genders, or, you know.
Yeah.
I think.
And I definitely, yeah, I feel like we're very lucky to like be in the countries that we're, you know, were born and we're from, hands down. But like, there's definitely a cultural thing that we've lost. You know, like it's been so much about making as much money as possible, and that's been the main focus. Whereas like it would be nice to just be like, you know what, like I've got, this is my village, and it's literally like all of my aunties, all of my uncles, like cousins and stuff like all here to help each other out. And I feel like it's the online space is building these communities. Like one thing for me, I would absolutely love to have is just get a house, like just rent out a giant apartment of like 5 bedrooms or something like that, and just have like 10 people live in this like awesome place together, and just like, you know, go off do your own thing, but come and connect, play a board game, like cook like a big family dinner and have these connections again, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cool. I want to talk to you a little bit about like your, you know, your struggles, like, you know, growing up. You mentioned before, like you use substances to like deal with a couple of things, and you like really struggled with like that self-love side. How were those experiences for you, and then how are you bringing that into the community to help people like find that level of self-love?
Yeah, so I would say, you know, very much in American culture, it's very like probably European culture too. It's just like party, like go to like college ended up just being a party at this point. Like that's like, oh, which is the best party school? Like I don't know if that's a Cali thing or America, but like very much like I just feel like it's almost encouraged to use substances at this point. Like, and you know, I'm sure in history, yeah, like whatever, like all those things, like alcohol and drugs have always been there, but instead of identifying the issue and like knowing that there's other options, I feel like most young adults don't think that. They just see their friends, most people, you know, using drugs or alcohol. So I kind of fell into it. Like I don't think naturally I was like some bad girl type vibe where I like loved it or anything. Like no, alcohol and stuff has always made me super sick, and like I just feel like I use that as an escape. Like my parents got divorced when I was 17. I moved out when I was 17. I was like, see you later, bro. Like I'm out. Like I shared a room with that girl that I went to Europe with. Like I shared a room. I was like, I don't even care. Like I will move 30 minutes away where the college is, and like I don't want to deal with this. You guys are literally traumatizing me. Like I just felt so like yucky, and just I don't know, like seeing your parents fight that much, just like no love, or like just I'm very intuitive, so I felt not good, and I just felt like I was probably the problem, you know what I mean? Like people just, so I, you know, in the sense of growing up with a lot of fighting around with my parents, and they're very different personalities, and so I think naturally I just turned to like weed, and you know, that's what the Cali vibes, like weed, you know, so that was always accessible. There's always older guys who have it that want, you know, drinking, so parties and stuff. So I just started relying on that, and then went to school in Santa Barbara and drank a bunch. So it's like, you know, and slowly over time, I was just like, okay, like would do yoga and like try to work at those type of places, and like slowly started realizing like, okay, like I'm ruining my body. I can't get anything done, like doing all this stuff, you know? So I would say that I don't know. I think it just starts very young. Like it starts very young, and you don't see a way out once you get to a certain level. You're just like, well, this is what I do on the weekends now. This is who I am. And when you try to quit, the people you're around still do it. So it's like you really have to be, again, like there's not a mentor, like an older person. I used to like cry at night just being like, I just like wish I had an older sister, like somebody, like there's no example. I'm the oldest sibling. Like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, I just felt like there was no one like to bounce off of or like understand a way out. Like no one around me had that, I guess, you know what I mean? And so I would always try to go in like wealthy environments, and I felt so much better. And like just going to Whole Foods and eating healthy food, like even before I had money at all, like I would just be like, at least this will nourish me for a little while until I have to go back home and get drunk or something. Like I lived with girls that would like, you know, kind of pressure me to drink and stuff. Even when I naturally didn't want to, I had a lot of people pleasing. I had a lot of like this good girl syndrome, like just say yes, just da-da-da, just fall in line, be cool, whatever. So it took me a really long time to like unlearn all that. And then, yeah, even recently, like I was in a huge breakup, like engagement and everything, and moved from New York all the way back to Cali, and started smoking like weed and cigarettes, spliffs. I don't know. That's definitely a thing in Europe, but it's just like I never had been someone who was really into tobacco, but that like really brought me into a dark place. I'm sure just because the breakup was so big, moving back to my hometown, like I never thought that was going to be my lifestyle. It was just like the life I was walking into was completely blown up and gone, not an option. So I was just like smoking every day, always wanted to do, you know, this type of stuff, like have a community, like make money online, all this type of stuff. But like, I just couldn't do it. Like I was just like reliant, because I've been reliant in my past on substances, drinking, whatever, you know, I still was doing that like up until like 2 months ago, literally. Like, I mean, a couple months ago, like it was slowing down, but it was still very much like having a hold on me for months, years. Like, and after the breakup, it just kind of became very intense, and I would be super tired, and like I just like knew that if I wanted to build something, I was sick. I was literally like couldn't eat, like I don't know, I was getting so skinny. I was just seeing like something else take over, and I was like, holy shit, like this is really bad. Like I was like, okay, like, and it's crazy because again, like it's so normalized. Like people in my life didn't know, or they didn't, like, even if you try to tell them, it's like I feel like they don't really know, or they don't know how to hold space. Like again, like we need so many more women to be like in tune and like being like, are you okay? What's happening? I'm gonna come over and like sit with you, and like we need people to like care, you know what I mean? And it's no one's fault. It's just your parents are doing their thing, and like everyone's doing their thing. But like, you know, if you're dealing with stuff like this, it's very common. And then that's, you know, people just like lead to suicide, or like they don't have a way out. They don't see a way out, you know? And there was definitely times where I felt hopeless and had like weird thoughts this year. And I was just like, what am I even doing? Or like, what is this again? Like I'm at some like nannying, and even when I had my client, I was still smoking a lot. Like, and I was just like, okay, even though I've got this job online, like it's still not good enough. Like it'll just be temporary. Like it makes you, like, the substances make you have such like disbelief in yourself. And so I think that's been a huge part of me not being able to overcome it very quickly is, you know, like just the people you surround yourself with, but also like always turning to that as my main comfort, to like, when it's not a comfort, it's an addiction. Like, you know? And so I start being honest about calling it an addiction now. You know, people might be like, oh, it's just weed. Like they would say that. I was like, okay, guys, like say what you want. Like, yeah, sure, it's not meth, but like I was an addict. Okay. Like I smoked before everything. It had to be cigarettes and weed. Like, no, like it was just a whole thing. It would take hours of my day. I'd have to go get the weed, roll it up. Like I was just wasting so much time, like truly. So, you know, and I know there's probably a ton of people doing that, like in their own way, whatever it is. And it's just eating away at the life we have. Like we're literally young. I mean, I'm in my 30s now, so I'm not that young. So it's just like, again, your time is just going, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's plenty of that. I feel like I haven't gotten to ask you anything because you're a really good interviewer.
It definitely connects. And I think like the best part that I've experienced of like building this journey, like building the community and like really trying to help other people, is whilst you're helping other people, you're actually helping yourself a lot. And you realize, and you're going, this is what I need to shift in myself. This is what I need to change here, so it can connect better on this level. And I can actually, you know, talk to the experience, you know, like, you know, we've spoken a little bit about, you know, what is the point in life if we're just doing the 9 to 5, and, you know, where you're speaking there about, you know, being addicted to weed and having this as like a daily thing, is like a daily habit in your life that you have, and then the shift away from that. And so the experience of, you know, checking in with yourself and being able to connect with like your inner self to then that power to share out with other people, to help other people like move through that, is like really powerful. And yeah, I think it's like really important that we have these experiences, and then we share the experiences, we talk about these experiences, because without it, then no one else will talk, you know. And
Absolutely. Like
that's
scary with you, like it's scary, but I'm like, I hope someone who maybe is feeling that way, like messages you or messages me and is like, oh fuck, like I'm kind of actually in the hole right now, or like, is there anything encouraging, or like, you know, you don't realize how much you're not processing because you're using something. And like I was confused when all this rage came up after I stopped smoking, and I was like confused and like, you know, like, and that's how I kind of like found God too. And it's like this all just intertwines, and it's like it's very much like of the world, and it's not good for us. It's very much like keeping our mind in shackles, keeping our creativity suppressed, our emotions from childhood or whatever we're already trying to suppress. We're not processing them. People who smoke a lot of weed think that, no, I'm zen, I'm in my creative zone when I smoke. No, you're an addict. Like you might be getting creative if you use it from time to time or like in a certain way, of course, but like I do not believe anyone smoking every single day is just getting some huge benefit. Like our bodies, again, like stop making cannabinoids. Like there's many things that are going on inside of our actual bodies. Like our breath, the psychedelic, you know what I mean? Like, you know, your breath work stuff. And it's just like, there's a reason you do that, you know? I don't know exactly your whole story, but I'm sure you have a whole story about it too, like with something like.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, and when it comes to anything, I look at like what are the things that are the main drivers of distraction. You know, people say they don't have enough time. I don't have the capacity to, you know, think about this or think about this like within my life. And you sort of go, well, you absolutely do. You got like 86,400 seconds in a day. You know, like there's a lot of seconds in your day. If you can't take 5 seconds to be like, how am I feeling? You know, that's crazy. So then like we look at what are the things that are taking away from that. So TV, Instagram, like consuming, like this is, you know, there's a massive thing between like, okay, I'm on Instagram every day, but am I
creating stuff?
Not consuming, right? And so there's that. But there's all of these distractions like your TV, your radio, video games, you know, smoking weed, porn addiction, all of this sort of stuff, which is like it comes into your like your daily life, and it just numbs you from actually feeling. And so people go, oh, I do this because it helps, but it doesn't really help. It's exactly the same as like taking medication for something. It helps in the moment, but it's not like it's a band-aid solution. It's not helping like the long-term thing. Now with that, medication is really important in some cases, but also it's easily abused and easily accessible for that very quick sort of like, oh, I feel better now. And so trying to find like, okay, how can we step away from these things which are ultimately distracting us from what the main issue is, what the main problem is, and then finding how we can create new solutions within ourselves without these distractions, I think is really important. And that just goes back to, like you said, your yoga, your Pilates, manifesting, meditations, you know, breath work. Like there's a whole range, like visualization. It's such a like really important thing. Like even if you spent 30 minutes a day doing a combination of that, you know, like you're going to feel so much better for yourself because you're more in tune with who you are and what you need for yourself. And yeah, it's like really cool. And I like, you know, we did talk a little bit like voice notes before around like spirituality and stuff, so we can touch on that quickly as well. And I feel with spirituality, like finding like religion or just, you know, whatever path it is for whoever it is what I believe it is you're actually finding a way to express yourself, your thoughts with the guidance that's provided through religion, through spiritual texts like that. And so for me, it was never like finding God or anything like that, but it was finding understanding of like my spiritual side of life. And I want to just ask your question with like your relationship with God, and how that has helped you like in, you know, rewiring your brain or like shifting you towards like the person that you ultimately do want to become and want to be, and who you are today?
Yeah. Ooh, that's a big question. Or I don't know where to start with that. But yeah, I mean, my mom was Jehovah's Witness and my dad was like Italian Catholic, but like it was always very like flip-flop, like, okay, like from like 0 to 7, like your most formidable years, like my mom was like, oh, we need to be like Jehovah's Witness again, because that's how she grew up, you know? And like again, just being very intuitive, I was like, I don't know about this. Like I don't know, like what is going on? Like I can't have my birthday. Like it just felt very, again, suppressive. I didn't know how to handle that. Like what, you know what I mean? So for a long time, like most of my 20s, like definitely, I mean, all of my 20s really, I didn't have some like connection with God. Like I was like always like, is God real? Like I want to believe it, but like, yeah, you hear like all these Jesus people and they're like, and you're just like, when you're not into it, you're like, God, they're so fucking cringe or something. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I just had such a like viewpoint about it and like just didn't get it or something, you know? And then like my ex, like great guy, great family, but like very much like, okay, like grew up going to church and stuff and like knew about the Catholicism and stuff. And like we would go, but like I just felt, even he'd be like, yeah, the priest isn't so great or whatever. Like it was more of like a tradition in their family, which was already cool. Like I liked going into the old buildings. Like I felt like I've always missed that piece, like a true spiritual side, I guess, or I guess just a connection with like the higher power, God, whatever. And so I really don't like the counterfeit energy of it, regardless of if it's Catholicism or anything. I just felt like I didn't have it for me inside, like trust in it or belief or whatever, you know? And actually, like when we were engaged, we had to take like a Catholicism like wedding class because we were gonna get married in the church, like at his family's local church in Connecticut and stuff. And like it just was like, okay, like if anyone is like, you know, feeling not sure, like think about it. And we just kind of started thinking like it would start, like they were even going as far to say like if you guys are living together, you shouldn't, like you should move out of, like just like intense. But then I was like, but see, there's like reasons for things. And I was like, oh, like, yeah, I've given you wife privileges already. Like we both started getting kind of mad. We were just like, wait, yeah, like I bet a lot of our problems are because we didn't follow anything. Like, do you know what I mean? We're just, again, like bopping around in the world, like no guidebook, no morals type of vibe, I guess. Like, obviously you can make your own morals, but like there's reasons for things. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of beside the point, but that's kind of what like got me thinking of like, okay, like people in the past like did know something, like they had made these rules for a reason. Like, you know, we think they're all just outdated, but it's like, look at the world now. There's like polyamorous, and I don't fuck with that. Like, I don't think that's healthy. That's not conducive for a child. I guess if you don't want to have a child, but our whole entire, we're a species, every species wants to procreate like naturally. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, it's a lot of mental things we've been told, whatever. Some people would definitely disagree. That's fine. But I think that, you know, all that happened, and then we realized, okay, this is like not right for us. We broke up, and before we broke up, I like got a download from God, literally, like, and I haven't heard his voice, I guess, in a long time, or in that serious kind of way where I was like, oh, it's just not going through. Like the wedding's not going through. Like I like knew in my heart and soul, without a doubt, it's not going through. Like he didn't say it yet or anything, or we didn't talk about it. It was just like, I was like, this is really weird. Like, this is not a good feeling. But like, it was literally like spiritual redirect, like divine redirection and protection. Like probably so I wouldn't go into some anxiety attack or something. Like, I feel like he gave me notice or something. But ever since then, I was just like, whoa, went into like a depression, had to move back, was just super confused, whatever. Had one of my brother's friends over here kind of be like, oh, go to church. Like, there's like a cool church over here, blah, blah, blah. And like, as I started to go and as things just kept happening, and like, I felt so much shame going in the church. You know what I mean? Like you feel shame, but that's because I was like so far from him in a way. It's really hard to explain it because it probably sounds, again, like cheesy to people who aren't like in that. But I guess to keep it short, I mean, I just kind of ranted. I don't even remember like the original question really, but like kind of like what led me to all that, like just kind of like I just started kind of going to church and just kind of like, I mean, I was having really bad times like during the smoking it. Like I would be going to church, but like smoking up after or before, like literally, like it was just insane. And I would like not want to go for times. And like, I was super confused. I was just like, what is this? But I felt good going there. Like I felt like people going there, like genuinely super nice. You know what I mean? Like I will say Christians get that rep. They're very nice, a lot of them. And you're like, why? And it's like, because they're literally connected. They're like not worried about stuff on the same level. Like that's what I've realized. And like just taking a leap into that, like like I had to trust, but like there'd be times I'd be like laying on the floor crying, like, God, like, please be real. Please take this addiction away. Please. Like it wouldn't happen. But like, it's like I just had to build a level of trust. Like I was like, okay, there's like things going on. And then I just was like, I felt called to get baptized out of the blue, like new Christian. Like this is so not what like the old school, like I barely read the Bible. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is, I'm just not on this like Christian tip like that. It's very much like, again, I'm very much like a leader in the sense of like, if I feel it's right to me, if I feel like the true presence of God, like telling me this, like there's a reason, you know? And that's when like I started losing a lot of relationships after that. And like, I've overcome the addiction. I really just don't think without prayer and like without God, without that trust and belief, because we want to take it, especially as spiritual entrepreneurs and spiritual people, like been doing spiritual inner work for years. I'm still broken as fuck. like genuinely. And you hear that a lot from people who used to be like, I was more new agey and this and that. And like, I still love all my like inner child healing and like meditation. Like I'm not going to be like, you know what, that sage is going to like, don't you use that? Like, that's not the kind of Christian I am. I mean, sure, maybe one day I will. I don't know. But like, I just think that there's a higher power. If we were to trust in that, like once you start being around this and knowing like it's okay to give your anxieties to him, like it just feels like that's a real thing. Like once you actually do that, like you have this like supernatural connection and ability that you didn't have before. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's been an interesting ride for sure. And I will say, when you become a Christian, like you kind of have a target on your back. Like people are going to judge you. People are going to call you crazy. People might, I don't even know, like might trust you less. It very much becomes obvious about who, it gives you a lot of discernment too. Like I literally feel like you can, like I had a weird like nightmare thing happen last night. And I just like wrote out like a whole prayer that I want to read. And it's like, if I was to read this, I'm having a certain protection because prayer guards your heart in the spiritual realm. Like it's just really deep. We'd have to literally do like a whole podcast on like religion or spirituality or God. I don't know. But I mean, long story short, I really don't think I would be like delivered from an addiction fully without, like, I've tried, you know what I mean? I've tried to rely on my human senses. I've had like, sure, people have done it without God, sure. But like, there's a lot of people who have been in bad places, even people like in jail who've like killed people that are like, no, God talked to me and I like everything changed or something. You know what I mean? Like they come out of it. Like that's very real. Like these testimonies and like, I don't know. I just think this world is very much in a demonic spirits, like darkness has definitely been running rampant in the past few years in a lot of ways. And one of them I think like is between like men and women relationships, like all of my mental health stuff, like, and that is not from God. Like that is not from God to me. That is so much of like the enemy planting thoughts in my head, thinking I'm not good enough, this and that, whatever. So the more that you just find strength in a higher power, I call it God. I think that Jesus Christ is God, you know, whatever you want to choose, I guess. But I really think that just starting to pray a little bit, even like that's all I started with. I was like, I didn't grow up with any of this. You know what I mean? This happened very quickly for me. And honestly, everything's been way more on the rise for me since then. Like met you, like literally just met the right people, met someone here that has really, really helped me. Like one of my girlfriends here has like really like, I never thought I could have a friend like that. And she's of God. She was sent from God. Like she said, when I went to the Bible study, which I didn't want to go, I was still smoking. I was like, oh God, all these girls are gonna be so churchy and blah. Like I literally was even still like, you know what I mean? Like judging the whole time. This girl just was like, when you spoke at the Bible study, I knew I needed to talk to you. I was like, what? That's crazy. Like from my voice, like it's just weird the kind of like spiritual like powers you get in a way. Like I don't know explain it, but Yeah, I mean, we'll just shut it right there for that one, because yeah,
no, that's like awesome. Like, it's an awesome answer. And I think, like, for me, I've been like always super, oh, I can't be real, like, it, you know. But what I've come to realize is it's like having, whether it's God or like some sort of spiritual connection or whatever it is, it's connecting to a higher power. And that higher power might sit within, you might believe it's outside of yourself, in like a figure. But once you find that connection to that higher power, it's that, like, it creates that guide, like that guidance that people need, right? Like, there's so many lost people out there because they don't know, like, what to do, where to go. There isn't a guidebook for life. Until you realize there kind of is a guidebook for life, and it's all of the variants of religious scripts, texts, you know, and there's so much that you can learn from, like, the people that have come before us. And for me, it's definitely been something where if I've been able to quieten my mind, I've been able to connect a bit deeper with myself, and deeper with, like, where my mission is, where my purpose is, and I've actually been able to, like, take better care of myself in the process. So yeah, definitely, it's definitely like a really important thing, I think, for people to find, regardless of if it is religion, if it's spirituality in a different sense, like whatever it is, it's all spirituality though. And once you find a way where you can connect your emotions to something a little bit higher, then you have that guidance in everyday life. Because it's, from my perspective, it's a guidebook of morals and principles. And if you follow the morals and principles, like, you generally will have a good, healthy life. You want to take care of yourself. You want to take care of other people. You want to bring joy. You want to, you know, raise a good family, and contribute in a healthy way in society. And I think, it's definitely something that is really cool. And like, when you find those people, like, it is that community that we're all missing in a sense.
Totally. Yeah. So. And also, just to, like, bring it back, like, I do think, you know, Jesus Christ was a real man and God is real, but at the same time, we are gods too. Like, that's why it's like you're connecting with God in this figure, sure, or Jesus, but like, he was the creator, he's the maker, like, you too, like, you're again, that's why it's working out, because it's like you're connecting with your highest self, your highest potential. That's what people think enlightenment is. Like, you know what I mean? It's God. It's like, it's all goes back to you too. It's not just like, you know, the man in the sky, like, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of thing too. And then I guess one thing that I do always come back to that I would love to share here is just that at the end of the day, like, I think back to it and I'm like, okay, even if people think, even if let's say Jesus Christ just didn't exist ever, I guess. And like, some people are going to say this is dumb, but like, I've lived without thinking about that, like, thinking it was real or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? This is so much better for me. Like, even if, like, obviously I have no proof either way, I guess. I mean, there is proof of Jesus, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, we don't know till we die what happens or what's real, what's not. But like, literally, what's going to serve you more? Not thinking about it and being like this atheist, like, what's the word? Like, not narcissistic, just like you're pessimistic about it. Or like fully believing in that and like feeling good about it, feeling good every day. Like, okay, let's say you're being played a trick on, like, haha, like, Jesus, like, haha, I'm not real, or like, whatever the hell. But like, which one is going to serve you more in this life? For me, it's finding God, believing in that fully, because I've done the other side. That's my thing. It's like, we've all pretty much tried the other side. How's it working out for you? Like, not the best. Like,
100%. It's like, actually, that one message really connects, because even if, like, it comes down to choice, right? Like, do you choose to live your life in one way, or are you choosing to live your life in the other? It's like, are you going to have just a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? And that, like,
you can choose.
Why would you choose to stay in a fixed position which you know you're not happy in, where if you choose to believe in something else, or you can choose to take different actions and behaviors, like, which can serve you, that hands down is such a great message. Like, even if you're not religious and you don't believe in that, it's still something that you can go, well, this is going to serve me more if I follow, you know. So yeah, really
well,
connect.
it's like, to me, just give it a real chance. Like, that's what my thing was like, even when I was walking through these steps, even still today, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, stupid, prayer is dumb, or oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to read the Bible. It's like, okay, but like, I haven't really dove into that lifestyle and gave it a chance. Have I read the Bible every day for a year? No, I haven't. So it's like, I can choose not to, which I've already done for 20 something, whatever years, 30 years. And it's like, or I can choose to like dive in and actually find out myself.
Yeah.
So it's like, just the being on the fence about it, like, just trust enough to just take the next step. Just read one prayer, think about it. Like, it doesn't even have to be, you know, again, like this perfectionist mindset about it or anything. And I felt like I was going to be the outsider, like, oh, I don't want to even be identified as a Christian. Like, I'm not like that. I don't want people to think that about me. Like, I'm this type of Christian. It's like, but like, once you have that connection, once you just do praying for you, once you just read the Bible for you in your quiet time, like, you just write a prayer for you, like, for your health, for people in your community, like praying for others, like, you feel good. Like, it's like, just give it a chance, you know?
Yeah, 100%. No, I absolutely love it. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for your insights and your stories and your shares today. Last
Talked so much. Sorry.
You're gonna have a big drink of water after.
No, I just like wish I could ask you stuff, so we'll have to do part 2.
Yeah, we'll do part 2. The last question for you though, what's next? Like, what's coming up in the next couple of months for you, or the next years? Like, what's your where are you heading? So
I'm kind of figuring out what my offer is, what my niche is. Like, of course, I have the community aspect, and I have, you know, I'm certified in certain coaching and stuff like that. But I really do think that right now there's such an opportunity for people to still become creators. And like, you know, people might get in this negative mindset because AI and all this. And it's like, no, this is the best time for me to help people like who currently have started a brand or like want to get things off the ground. I kind of want to be in this kind of like creative direction, like brand strategist kind of role, and just be like, let's go through your business. Let's go through your content. Like, what do we need to like get you from point A to point B? Like, what do we need to launch? Do we need to fix your offer suite? Like, I want to figure out my first kind of core offer to like help people that are like, again, already know that they, you know, want this or are on the path of entrepreneurship, and like just feeling like maybe something's like not hitting or they don't know what their vision is, and to like help them bring it into reality a little bit. I think that most people end up having fear, like, you know, they say they don't have time or whatever. We know all the excuses and stuff. And so it's like, I want to help them like with implementing systems, specifically also like for ADHD brain. Like, I don't have like a linear brain. So it's like, you know, helping hyphenate type of people, like just figuring out like what is their brand, like what is their goal, what can I help them with, because I have ideas off the yin yang. And so I'm helping a client right now, and like she's good at what she does, but she doesn't know, she's like, I don't know what content I'm even doing in a month, I don't know my pillars, I don't know what systems I need, like I need a CRM, like I don't have offers. Like, I enjoy like kind of building out the dream for them and like bringing it, like, again, like in a way that helping them get the digital skills or like finding what the gaps are. So yeah. I want to figure out like my core offer in that sense. And then of course I just want to like grow the community. I want to be able to like, you know, do one-to-ones and dive deeper with women, men, whoever like wants to dive deep on like whatever they need, like the mindset. Like, you know, I really do enjoy this kind of conversations. I think people can really learn, and like people really open up in my energy. They tell me they feel safe in it or whatever the case. Like I try to be as authentic as I can and as honest. And so, you know, I don't know. I'm just kind of in the beginning phases, I guess, or middle phase of entrepreneurship. I don't even know. I'm just like out here trying to like still figure it out. So, you know, definitely grow the brand though. I would say I want to have solid presence like online. I want to be able to like flex the knowledge that I'm saying. Like I post, you know, I wouldn't say I post stuff specifically about branding. I kind of keep it like gatekept with my clients, or like scared I'm not going to be right about it or something, or like, I don't know, like I'm open to talking about it like one-to-one, but then like I don't know, there's so many people doing it, and I don't want to be this like typical, like, here's how to grow your IG. Like, that is not fun to me. Like, I don't know, like so I'm not sure, I guess, how to answer it, but I definitely think I just want to like, you know, help as many people as I can with what skills I have creatively and coaching wise, and just kind of see how that like lands, you know. I don't know, like in what a kind of a core offer though, I would say, and grow the community.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's definitely a journey, and I think business is one of those things that you don't have all the answers straight away. It takes time to get there, and the one thing that everyone says with being successful in the space is just consistency. If you stick at it, you like realistically, you only need like 1 or 2 clients, you know, 1 or 2 clients a month that are going to help cover you, and you don't have to be that. I'm making $100 million this year, so just make $1,000 and then go from there. No, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and yes, we'll definitely lock in a round 2, so we can you can ask me the questions next time.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's time to interview you. I mean, I don't know if anyone has done that I'm sure you've been on other people's podcasts. I mean, I kind of wanted to do a similar thing for my YouTube channel. I just, again, have to structure my content a little better. But yeah, I've been kind of working with beta clients right now. So again, entrepreneurship, there's like a million buckets open at all times. And it's like, okay, which one is the most important? So I'm learning to like prioritize, but yeah, also try to stay my feminine. It's a lot. You know what it is. It's a lot. You have your whole job and stuff too. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to hear from like your perspective.
It's never ending, you know, like yesterday.
Never ending. The day's going.
On a half-hour day yesterday, and I was just like, thank God I don't have to work tomorrow. So good.
I know. We finally got this combo, and it's like I already have to go do something else after, but it's like fun because we get to decide.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and yeah, it's been great.
Hi guys, I hope you are enjoying the Just Another Moment podcast. I take great pleasure in meeting new people, sharing their stories, and also spreading the message of Just Another Moment, which is all about helping people overcome their mental health challenges through adventure, community, and education. If you are struggling with anything and you want to have a chat, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at just.anothermoment. I'm more than happy to have a conversation with you. If you are enjoying these episodes and you feel like they could help someone else, or it would just be a good insight for someone to listen to, please share it with them. And finally, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow this podcast for all of the new updates. These episodes will be uploaded on a weekly basis from now on. So I'm really looking forward to delivering amazing podcasts for all of you to enjoy for the future. Take care, and I will see you on the next episode.